Hello guys, welcome to Doctor Class. In the last session, we were discuss about the mesosome and the staining procedure. In this particular session, we are going to start a discussion related with the genetic material of prokaryotes, and afterward we will look on the bacterial flagella. So let's get started. In the past few sessions, we will understand that bacterial cells are devoid of a nuclear membrane and it has no any kind of chromosome present inside. So the question is, what kind of genetic material is present inside a bacterial cell which is responsible for the regulation of all the metabolic reactions occur in this bacteria? So the question seems very difficult or complex, but answer is very simple. Why? Because the bacteria or prokaryotes are the simplest organism, one of the simplest organisms present on earth, and their genetic materials are also very simple in the form of the double-stranded circular DNA. Double-stranded circular DNA, which is also known as a nucleoid as well as the genophore. So remember that a nucleoid and the genophore are nothing but the other names of the main bacterial genome, right? So this is the main DNA. Now remember this, if there is a main DNA, so it means it has some additional DNA. Yes, right. So bacterial cells having the small circular self-replicating. What important? Self-replicating means it is not dependent on the main genome, and this kind of small circular self-replicating DNA is known as the plasmid. Now plasmid is very important for a bacterial cell. Why? Because plasmid is the reason for the antibiotic resistant development. Antibiotic resistant. So the plasmid is the thing which is responsible for the development of antibiotic resistance inside the bacteria. Now the question is, how the plasmid will ensure the development of the antibiotic resistance. So let us take an example, a very simple example. If you are aware with the tuberculosis, pneumonia, typhoid, cholera, this all are the bacterial disorder which is done due to the infection of bacteria, and for the treatment purpose, for the curing of this disease, we are using the medicine called as an antibiotic. So antibiotic is a medicine used for the treating the bacterial disorder and prevent us from the declining. Now remember this, if a particular antibiotic which is very effective on the bacterial disorder today, it will not that much effective after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Why? Because during this whole time period, plasmid will analyze the substance which is responsible for the effect on the bacterial cell membrane or a cell wall and the killing of this bacteria. So in this particular time duration, what happened? The plasmid will analyze the substance which is the antibiotic and create some genetic changes. Let's take example. If there are 1 million of bacteria present, one of the bacteria's plasmid will create some DNA sequences, which are reason for the hardening, or you can say the changes in the structure, changes in the cell wall structure. And now cell wall is much able to resist this antibiotic to kill them, to break the cell wall, right? So what happened now? So now this antibiotic should not able to prevent us from the disease or prevent us from the declining. So for that reason, we have to now go for the search of the new antibiotic. So this is all about the antibiotic resistance which is developed by the plasmid. One very important thing, according to the function of plasmid, we can classify it under two heads. One is called F plasmid and the second one is called R plasmid. And here the so-called R plasmid, where the R stands for the resistant. Okay, so this plasmid is reasonable for the resistance against the antibiotic. So it is a resistance plasmid. Okay, it is the plasmid in which the first time the resistance genes come. But the question is, if the colony is 1 million cell larger, then the requirement of this resistance genes to spread in the whole colony. So who will do this function? This function is done by the F plasmid through the process called as a conjugation. We will learn about the conjugation in the chapter biological classification. So for that reason, you have to understand that the F plasmid is the plasmid by which these resistance genes which are developed inside the R plasmid will spread into the colony, and now whole the bacterial colony will become antibiotically resistant. Is it clear? Now, a very important thing, or you can say very advanced thing, that the Jacobian monad, remember, Jacobian monad gives us a term, episome. Now what is episome? Episomes are those genetic material or those nucleic acid which are extra than the chromosomal material or extra than the main DNA. And here the plasmid is also extra than the chromosomal material or extra than the main DNA. So plasmid is also a kind of the episome. And whenever this episome or this plasmid attach with the main genetic DNA or main genome and replicate with the main genome, then that kind of cells are known as the HFR cell. The term HFR cell is, the meaning of HFR cell is high frequency recombination cells. Right? It is a high frequency recombination cell. So what is the high frequency recombination cell? Whenever the plasmid attach with the main genome, whenever plasmid attach with the main genome and replicate with the main genome, then it is known as the high frequency replicating DNA, or sorry, high frequency recombination DNA or high frequency recombination cell. So this is all about the basics as well as advance of the bacterial genetic material. Now let us understand, if there is a bacteria, their nature is to prolapse from one place to another place. So it means it has to go from one place to another place. So for the traveling, they need a structure which is responsible for this travel, and the structure is the bacterial flagella. So let us understand about the bacterial flagella. So the bacterial flagella is a structure by which bacteria can prolapse from one place to another place. So the flagella is the locomotory structure. Okay, so flagella is the locomotory structure present in the bacterial cell. Now, this flagella is made up by three components. First of all, we will learn about the structure. Afterward, we will learn that how the bacteria prolapse from one place to another. So the components are the basal body, then the hook and the filament. Remember this, that the bacterial flagella is made up by three components: basal body, hook and the filament. Now let us understand these three things in very detailed manner. So this is the structure of a flagella. Here what we find that this structure, which is placed inside the envelope system, is known as the basal body. This is the basal body. Basal body is continuous as a tube-like structure, and this tube-like structure is known as the hook, and hook will continue into the tapering and projection that is known as the filament. A very important thing about the filament is that the filament is made up of the protein called as a flagellin, right? So filament is made up of the flagellin protein. But the more complex part you have to understand or you have to study is in the basal body. Right, so basal body is a very complex part which is made up by the proteins plate, and the structure of basal body is different in the gram positive bacteria and in the gram negative bacteria. How? Let us understand. If you remember the bacterial envelope system, then you are aware with the layers of the bacteria, that the innermost layer of bacterial cell is the cell membrane, second one is the cell wall, and the outermost is the glycocalyx. But in this case, for the understanding of basal body, we need only cell membrane and the cell wall. So there are some plates, proteinous plates present inside the cell membrane and the cell wall, and form what? They combinedly form a structure called as the basal body. Basal body. But a very important thing is that in the gram positive bacteria, the number of this plate is 2, and in gram negative bacteria, the number of this plate is 4. Here remember, these plates are the innermost plate is known as the M plate, then a S plate, this one is L plate, and this one is the P plate. right? So there are two combos. The internal combo, which is the M and S plate, right, it is situated under the cell membrane, where the outer combo, which is made up by the L and P plates, which are situated in the cell wall, right? So in gram positive bacteria, there is only the inner pair of the rings are present, the outer pair is not present over here, where the gram negative bacteria compose all these four rings. So this is the structure of a gram negative bacteria here, that you find the M plate, this is the S plate, this is the L, and this one is the P plate. But if this will the gram positive bacteria, then only two plates will be present over here, which are invaded inside the cell membrane. This is all about the bacterial flagella and its structure. But what about the mechanism, how they prolapse from one place to another? So mechanism is very simple. Whenever we give the energy to the basal body in the form of ATP, then in the presence of ATP's energy, basal body will rotate. And due to the rotation of basal body, what happens? Rotation of hook is occur, and due to rotation of hook, filament will also rotate, and rotated filament will give the energy to prolapse from one place to another place, right? So this is the mechanism required for the movement of bacteria from one place to another place. So this is all about the flagella. Now let us understand about the next one. Pili and fimbriae are the small finger-like projections which are present over the bacterial cell wall, and the function of this pili and fimbriae is to stick with the other things, like stick with the host tissue when they are the parasite, stick with the rocks where they will get a very habitable nature outside, right? Let us take example here, that if this is the sea coast and this one is the rock, and there are so much of food material present at this particular place, and bacteria is here now. What happens when the sea waves come and impact on this bacteria? Bacteria will lose their place and get inside the sea. But for the prevention of this thing to happen, they use their pillars to stick with the rock. Don't confuse pili and fimbriae with the flagella, because the flagella is a locomotor structure, where the pili and fimbriae is only used for the sticking purpose. Pili and fimbriae will not provide any kind of locomotory feature. So this is all about the pili and fimbriae. So in this particular session, we learn about the genetic material, structure, and the functions of flagella, as well as the pili and fimbriae. So let us look on some questions here. So the first question is, the prokaryotic cell are generally blank and multiply blank than the eukaryotic cell. So pause the screen and give answer. The answer is very simple. The prokaryotic cell are smaller, right, but they multiply faster than the eukaryotic cell. Now the question is that what is the relation in between our topics and this question? The relation is very clear, that the eukaryotic cell have the chromosomal pattern, and the division during the chromosomal pattern is very harder or very complex in the compare of the free double-stranded DNA, right? So basically answer is C. The question is, if you remove the fimbriae from the bacterial cell, which of the following would you expect to happen? So these are some options. Look and give answer. Yes, so let us see. The bacteria could no longer swim. It is not an answer. Why? Because as we learned that pili and fimbriae are not a locomotory unit. It is only used for the sticking purpose, right? So the second one is, bacterial cell would not adherently place with the host tissue. Definitely this one is answer. Why? Because the function of pili and fimbriae is to adherently stick with the host tissue as well as the habitable places, right? So answer is B. So this is enough for today. If you like our initiative, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Jai Hind.